Hey everybody, and welcome to Unwind and Design Creative Studio. Today we're going to be making a really cute flower painting. So we're going to get started first by going over our materials. We have our primary colors except for black, so it's red, blue, white, and yellow. We also have our brushes that we always use, which are our square brush, our background brush, our square brush, our detail brush, and our round tip brush. And we're going to get started today first by using our detail brush. That way we can outline everything. So we're going to pick up a little bit of water and add a little bit of a drop next to your yellow. And let's get that nice and mixed. From here, we are going to make a dot on top, and we're going to make a dot about halfway down. We are going to, at this point, make a diamond. So we're going to go about halfways across. And then we're going to come down. So it's kind of like a little square or a diamond. From here, we are going to bring another diamond to the bottom. And if it looks a little odd, that's okay. We can always fix it slightly. So this almost looks like a little V, and we're bringing two lines towards the bottom. Our lines are not going to touch. We're going to leave about 2 fingers. So you can even put 2 fingers and put your 2 lines to touch those fingers. Next, from here, we're just going to make a little smiling line. And then we're going to make 2 lines. And we are going to wiggle the bottom and connect it. So for this section, we are then going to switch off to our square brush. Our square brush is still full of water, and we're going to squeeze some of that water right in between the blue and the white. We're going to use that water to combine our blue and our white to give us a baby blue. And we want a very, very light baby blue, as light as you can get it. And we are going to paint in this bottom section. So with your brush, you can use your skinny side to do an outline, or you can use the corner of your brush to create the outline. But look at the 2 lines you can make using the same brush. You can drag it in a flat angle to get a thick line, or you could turn it and use a skinny line using the side of your brush. And what we're going to do is fill in all of this space. With that very, very light blue. We don't want it to be too dark. Same thing over here. And paint on top of your yellow lines. Okay, you want to pretend that those lines are not there. The only reason that we can see the yellow lines to begin with are to create an outline so we know where everything is at. But other than that, you don't really need those yellow lines at all. They're just guidelines. I'm going to get some more of that baby blue, and I'm just going to wiggle it down on the bottom part too. It almost looks like a dress. And then I'm just going to, from the corner of my brush, squeeze that line in too. So again, from the top, I'm going to bring my brush to squeeze that line, and then I'm going to make a little wave. And we're just going to also paint that in. Next, for this inside, I'm going to add just a little bit more blue so it's just a little darker. And that's what I'm going to be painting the inside with. So I'm going to get a little bit more blue. And we're going to paint in all of that inside. And you never want to be too tough on your brush. You always want it to be a little bit light with it. You never want to press super hard or messy. You kind of want to go slowly with it and squeeze the paint out of your brush. And once you've squeezed it out, then you want to spread it and push it around. The harder you press, the more lines you're going to leave behind and the messier it's going to look. There we go. The less you press, the softer it's going to get. You can also get that blue to create a little line right here. And you can use a little bit more of that dark blue to also create a line down here. If you want, you can add that dark blue also to create a little line down here. I like to make a line and then just kind of curve it a little bit and then have it get smaller to the top. So again, make a line right in the edge where it starts to dip up. See right here, it starts to dip up. That's where I put my line. And then I just curve it. And this creates a little dip. So it looks like there's a fold on that section. So again, a little dip. So it looks like we have a fold on that section. There we go. From here, we're going to let that sort of dry down a little bit. And we are going to come and pick up our background brush. We're going to get a little bit of that water and put it on the corner of our yellow. We're also going to pick up a little bit of white to make our yellow a little bit lighter. And I like it super watery. That's why I'm squeezing out my brush to make sure all that water gets out. I'm also going to add just a little drop. Look at that tiny little drop compared to my nail. Tiny. And we're going to mix it to get a very light orange peach color. See that? And look at how watery it is. It's super soupy. And with this orange, we're going to come in and just add it in the background. And we want it to look like a peach color. Because there's a lot of water in here, it's going to dry very, very light, which is what we want. I don't want it to be too dark. I want it to be light enough that it just kind of stands out in the background. And we're going to use our background brush to just go slightly right around the edge. If you're scared that it's going to smudge, you don't have to touch it. You can leave it a little bit farther away. And if you notice, this is still really, really wet. So I'm going to pick up some of that paint and move it over here. Kind of like if your brush was a mop. You know, you're going to use a little bit of that. And you're going to pick it up and move it over here. So get a little bit more, move it over here. If there's too much water, you can always dry your brush. And if you want your color to be a little darker, you can always add a little bit more orange to it if you want it slightly darker. I like to have it looking like a peach. Remember, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of painting. I just kind of want you guys to use these techniques to make this painting your own. So use the watery paint, use the background brush. Make sure that you're using the brush the right way. You don't want to press too hard. There you go. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick wipe with a dry brush. So I'm kind of mopping it up, drying my brush, mopping it up, drying my brush, and I'm doing that all the way around. And there you go. Next, using our round tip brush, we're going to add a couple of dots. So here's one dot, two dots, three dots, four dots. Almost on the corners of each of these spaces right here. So right in the corner of this big space. Next, using that round tip brush, we are going to pick up or dry our brush. We don't want to have too much water for this so it doesn't slip everywhere. But we're going to get a little bit of that white and we're going to start to make flowers. So we're going to make almost like a big plus sign. And I want you, or an X, and I want you to pick up that white and we're going to start making some flowers. The way we're going to make these flowers is that we're going to put almost like a heart in between. So we're going to start on the outside. And if you want a skinny line, you hardly press. But if you want a thick line, you press hard. So that's one, two. See how that looks like a heart? Let's try it again over here. One, two. Another little heart. So in each of these spaces, we're going to be adding two little lines, and that looks like a flower. So right here, we have one more space. So I'm going to do two more there. It's gonna look almost like that. Okay, so from the outside, press very little and then hard over here too. And look at how I turn my brush every time. So from the outside, little, and then press hard, and then bring to the middle. A little bit, press hard, bring to the middle. A little bit, press hard, bring to the middle. And you're gonna keep doing that all the way around like a sun. Let's do the same over here. So I'm gonna do almost like a little heart in each one. See that? And then I'm gonna fill it in. So from the outside, a little bit and then hard. And wherever the petal is at, that's where I'm turning my brush like a clock. So a little bit and then hard, a little bit and then press hard. Same thing here. A little bit and then hard. And we're going to do this all the way around. You can also add a little bit of red to make these flowers pink right in the middle. Or you can add a little bit of yellow if you want to make the flowers colorful. And all you got to do is really just scrape it over the top. Okay. And this one over here, I'm also going to make maybe a little pink. And you scrape it on top of that white so that your flowers have a little bit of color. And then finally, I'm going to do my last flower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, I should do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love that. And again, if you want to make them a little pink, you can always scrape some of that red over the top just to add some color. Right in the middle, we're going to get a scoop of the yellow and add yellow centers on all of them. And look at that. Next, using your detail brush, we're going to mix our blue and our yellow. So we're going to get a little bit of blue and put it into the corner of our yellow. And we're going to mix until we get the green that's right in the middle. We don't want it too dark or too light. Using that green, we're going to add 1 line, 2 lines, 3, and maybe 4. Now comes the fun part. We're going to get to add some leaves on the side. On top, coming out of the little bag that's holding them. What about over here? Let's do a nice big one right there. There you go. We can also do some swirls. So I can get some of these lines and just swirl it. Make a couple of these grass lines coming out. To swirl it. Next, this is looking a little empty. So how's about we make a little bit of purple using our red and using our blue. You can wipe out your brush. I cleaned off all that green. And I picked up some red and some blue. And I'm going to start to add little dots of purple all around. You can also mix some red and yellow and also put some orange dots too. There you go. Next, down here, I want to get a baby blue color, or let's use this purple. It's very pretty. And I'm just going to add that purple color to the middle part so that it looks like we have a ribbon tying the middle. And what we're going to do is create one chunky line with two edges. And there's one part of the ribbon. And over here, I'm going to do it down. So we got a second part of the ribbon right there. If you want to add any shimmers on anything, you can get the white and just create a couple of lines. There you go. There you go. And you can use some of this purple to also outline a little bit of your flowers. If you feel that some of these flowers need a little bit of like a boost or some help, you can add a little bit of the purple just to create some shadows there. And there we go. Using that white, just like we added a little bit of that highlight on the ribbon. I'm also going to add a little bit of a highlight right here. And I can also add a little bit of a highlight right there. There you go. On the outside, you can do whatever you'd like. I like the idea of doing little hearts just to make it look a little extra colorful. And the hearts don't have to be colored in. And there you go. You can do all colors. You can do some orange. You can do some pink. And there you go. A little bit of love. When you're finally done, pick whatever color you'd like. And down at the bottom, we are going to put our signature. And after that, we are done. And there you go. Thank you guys so much for painting with me today. This was such a cute painting. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope to paint with you soon again. Bye.